everyone. This is the Jeff Cowan coming to you from thejeffcowan.com with my weekly podcast, Write Service and Write Your Own Paycheck, how to make $100,000 a year writing service. Because as we're doing this podcast right now, as you're listening to this, did you know that 20% of the people in the United States of America and Canada that are writing service on service drives are making just that, $100,000 or more? And you can too if you keep listening to me, because all you need is a strong process, a great process, great content, great closes, great word tracks and the like, and you will find all of that here, I guarantee you. So thank you for listening. Our audience is really growing. I'm really getting excited about this. And before I get into today's great podcast, because I have a great one for you, I want to thank all of you. This is a picture of me and my mother right there. I want to thank all of you that have kept my mom in your prayers and your thoughts over the last few weeks. As you heard me say a few weeks ago, unfortunately, she had a heart attack a few weeks back. We lost her twice, but she's recovered and is recovering. And the doctors say she's going to make a full recovery, going to be back to her old self, 80 years old. Love my mom. Thank you for thinking about us and her. We certainly appreciate it. But to today's podcast, boy, I've got a great one for you here. And here's why. You know, I get a lot of phone calls. I get a lot of texting. I get a lot of emails from the audience out there. And I've had a lot of you call me up and say, you know, Jeff, I really am struggling with my presentations, and it's got to be that because I'm not afraid to ask for the money. I'm making the presentations with enthusiasm. I'm making them with what I believe passion. I'm talking about the benefits, and I'm asking for the money, but I'm just not getting my fair share of my sales. And they've identified it as being they think it's their presentation. And you know what? I think you could be right. Because I'll tell you what, so many times I'm out on service drives with service advisors, and I watch them go out, and I see them make really good presentations. They're talking about the benefits. They got the enthusiasm. They got the passion. They ask the customer to buy, and the customer still says no. And they walk away scratching their head because they can't figure out why the customer says no. And I got to tell you, I think about this stuff all the time, and I believe I know why many times the customer says no. Why they say no? It's because we simply never tell them what it is we're asking them to buy. And I think what happens is, and I want to say it again, I think it's because we really never tell them what it is we're asking them to buy. We really never explain to them what it is we're asking them to buy. Now, let me give you a perfect example of this. I think what happens here is we get caught up in what I like to call service advisor slang. You know, let's take the packages, for example, because this is where I see this failure the most. You know, when it comes to the 5Ks, the 10,000-mile services, the 15,000-mile service, 20K, 60K, 90K, whatever, I think what happens is we start to assume that everybody knows what's in those packages and what's included in them. What do I mean? Well, your technicians come up and say, tell the customer they need a 10K. You tell your customer, next time you come in, we'll be doing a 45,000-mile service. Your customers call up and say, I'm coming in for a 60,000-mile service. Or they'll get on the phone and tell you, I'm coming in for a 40,000 K. Right? And then when they get there, so what happens is we start to believe that everybody knows what's included in these packages, right? And then even online, when they're scheduling their check-in process, their check-in, many times when they're doing that themselves online, it will say, you're coming in at this mileage, would you like a full 45,000-mile service? They'll check yes, but once they get to the service department, they say no once they find out what the cost is. Well, why would they do that, you know? Why would they do that? I think it's because they don't know what it is we're asking for when we ask for that. Just because, now this is critical, so write this down if you can. If you're driving, wait until you get to work. Just because somebody calls up and asks for something they've been told to ask for, okay, doesn't necessarily mean they understand what's in it. For example, if I tell somebody next time you come in, you're going to be due for a 15,000-mile service, so I'm going to get you scheduled for that, and never tell them what's in it, and they come back and say, I'm here for my 15,000-mile service, and then I tell them it's a few $100 and they freak out, it's because they don't understand what's in it. All right, now let me give you an example of what and advisors, again, I think it's because we get caught up in slang. We just hear this all the time, so again, we start to assume everybody knows what's in it. And let me give you a perfect example how this is just not prone to our industry. Me and the wife every year like to take a really nice vacation, and not bragging, but we just do. We work hard, we plan, we save, and we're disciplined, and so we take nice vacations. And this year, we decided we wanted to go to Great Britain. We want to go see London, and we want to go see Paris, France, so we're going. So once we decided to go, everybody told us, you got to fly this one airline, right? You got to fly this one airline and whatever. And when you call up, make sure you ask for the preferred first class, okay? I don't know what preferred first class is, but make sure you call and ask for that. So, when we travel overseas, now I'm not I typically use a travel agent. Sometimes I'll even book my stuff online. But when I'm flying overseas to Europe, I like to talk to somebody at the airline. I want to make sure I know everything that's going on because, we're going away pretty far. So I get the person on the phone. They said, when do you want to go? We tell them, we give them the itinerary, tell them, and they said, okay, what type of seating do you like? And I said, well, we want the preferred first class. And they go, oh, you're going to love that. That's great. And so they're booking it all up. They're getting it set up. They get our name and everything in the computer. And when they get down, she goes through the rundown. She goes, Mr. and Mrs. Cowan, once you include, here's the for your first class ticket, and then here's for the preferred seating option. It's an additional $300. And I said, wait. What do you mean an additional $300? And she said, yeah, the preferred seating is $150 a person. I think you're smart to ask for it. Some of our best customers all of our best customers ask for that. Our happiest customers enjoy the preferred seating. So it's only $300 more, and so you'll be glad you did it. And I said, well, hold on. It's not that I mind paying for it, but what is? I thought preferred first class was just the name, that was what you called your first class. What do you mean preferred? No. First class is first class, but preferred means you get one of the preferred seats. And to get one of those preferred seats, it's $150 more per person on this particular itinerary. And I said, well, so what's a preferred seat do for me? And she went on to explain that what a preferred seat does is guarantee that you're not going to be by one of the restrooms, and it guarantees you're not going to be by a high traffic area on the airplane, and you're not going to be near the galley where they're fixing the food where it's noisy. And since we're flying overnight, all that made sense. Once she explained to me what it was, of course I'm going to give her an extra $150 a person. I don't want to be buying that stuff either. But had she not taken the time to explain it, just said, oh, well, if you don't want that, no big deal, we'll just put you in that seat, well, then she would have never gotten the sale. But she took the time to explain it. But the mistake she made is she should have, when she was talking about preferred first class, is Mr. Cowan, I'm glad that you asked for the preferred first class because our best customers do and our happiest customers do. And I don't know if you're familiar with what preferred first class is, but preferred means that you're going to have a seat that's not by the galleys, it's not by the restrooms or a high traffic area. You're really going to find it beneficial, especially since you're taking a red eye and going to want to fly overnight. No problem. But she didn't say that, and they almost lost the $300. So, as it pertains to us on service drives, what am I talking about? What do I mean? How do I mean we need to explain these 5Ks and these different packages more? Well, I'm going to tell you that in a second, but before I do, I got to go to my sponsor, and guess who my sponsor is this week? It's me! Why? Because look right here. You've been looking at this the whole time, right? This is my new book. It is out. It's called Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, The Path to Making Over $100,000 a year on a service drive, if that's what you want to do. Because as I've told you many, many times, the average service advisor out there today makes $65,000 a year, which puts them in the position of being in the top 15% of income earners in the United States of America. That allows them to have a 2,300 square foot house and 1.3 acres of land, depending on where they live. They can park a $40,000 car in their driveway, and if they're married and their spouse works outside the house, add another 1,000 square feet onto the house and a second car. They'll get 2 weeks paid vacation that rivals some of the biggest industries out there, okay? A 2-week paid vacation and the benefit package that rivals some of the biggest manufacturers and businesses out there. I mean, this is a great job, and this is going to show you, and no matter what level you are, how to do that. Whether you want to work at a dealership or non-dealership, an independent, doesn't make a difference. This book is going to show you how to do it. It's available at Amazon.com, either in hard copy or online if you want to use it on your Kindle or your iPad, something like that. You can call us at 1-800-248-2931. Again, 1-800-248-2931. We can help you get it, or you can just go to thejeffcowan.com and get it there. Now, here's what's cool about this. It just doesn't have a book version, but check this out. I have actually recorded this. I have a video recording of this, and the video, you can get that package. It's a one-time watch thing. It's like going to school. It's well over 10 hours worth of videos, and when you watch the videos, each one set up into like a 5-minute little video. At the end of it, there's a test, and not only can you see the scores, I can see the scores. And so what happens is once you pass the test, we will certify you, which will make it easier for you to go out into the world and get one of these 30,000 jobs that are now open for somebody to write service. If you're already writing service, you say, why do I need that? So you can maximize the opportunity, because if you're not making at least $65,000 a year, you're below average, you're failing. And if you're not making $100,000 a year, you're not maximizing the opportunity. Write Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, written by me, yours truly, The Jeff Cowan at thejeffcowan.com, is now available both in video, book form, and on e-form. So there you go. So call us up at 1-800-248-2931, or again, go to thejeffcowan.com and get that book so you can be the best you can be when you're writing service. All right, so today we were talking about presentation and how I think we get caught in slang and we just start service advisor slang and we just start assuming everybody knows what we're talking about. So what do I mean? Mr. Customer, here's what we do wrong. Mr. Customer, I know that you came in here today because you wanted to get an oil change. And what I'd like to recommend, and what I'd like to tell you is this: you're smart to do that because at 5,000 miles, that's exactly what this manufacturer recommends. Well, the manufacturer also recommends you do a full 5,000 mile service, and I do too. It only takes an extra 30 minutes and runs an extra $50. And what it does, it allows you to have a car that continues to be efficient, economically sound, safe, and reliable for you and your family. If you want to get that taken care of today, I can add it to the list. What do you think? And then the customer says no. Why? Because that's the wrong way. Why? Because they don't know what they're buying. So what's the right way? That's what I promised I would give you. It's this right here. Mr. Customer, you were smart to come in here today and request an oil change at 5,000 miles because that's exactly what your manufacturer recommends. But they also recommend that you do a full 5,000 mile service, and included in that is definitely your oil change, but among other things, so is a tire rotation. Okay, so now they understand what we're talking about. Now they understand a 5,000 mile package includes an oil change, and among other things, which I'll get to later, other things also includes a tire rotation. So now they know what we're talking about. So now that they know what we're talking about, now it has value. Now the chance of them wanting to buy it goes up at 1,000%, okay, because now it makes sense. It's just not a 5,000 mile service. It's an oil change, it's a tire rotation, it's a full multi-point inspection, and everything else you include in your package. That's the difference. So again, let me do it the wrong way and the right way. Wrong way. Mr. Customer, you're smart to come in here at 5,000 miles and ask for an oil change because that's exactly what your manufacturer recommends. Okay, but they also recommend you do a full 5,000 mile service. We can get that taken care of for you today. It's only an extra $50. It only takes an extra 30 minutes, and it's going to ensure that your car continues to run well, is efficient, economically sound, and safe and reliable. What do you think? What am I buying? I don't know. What's a 5,000 mile service? What's a 5K? The right way, one more time. Here we go. Mr. Customer, you were smart to come in here today and request an oil change at 5,000 miles because that's exactly what your manufacturer recommends. But your manufacturer also recommends that you do a full 5,000 mile service. Now, included in that is your oil change, and among other things, so is a tire rotation. All right? And Mr. Customer, just like it sounds, when the vehicle's up there, we rotate the tires around it, ensuring that you don't have to, that they wear evenly, ensuring that you don't have to buy tires prematurely, giving you a better handling car, a smoother riding car, and a safer car for you and your family. Also included in this is a full multi-point inspection. Every time you come in, our factory-trained technicians, when you invest in one of these packages, are going to do a full multi-point inspection so you always know the condition of your vehicle. If you want to get this full 5,000 miles package done that includes the tire rotation, the multi-point inspection, and the oil change, it would only be X. It would only take this much time, and with your permission, I'll move ahead. Now, the chances of you getting that sale now goes up tremendously because they see value. They see what they're getting. They're not only getting an oil change in 5,000 miles, they're getting an oil change, a tire rotation, a multi-point inspection, and anything else you want to include in it. That's the difference. You can't fall back on what I like to call, again, service advisor slang and assume everybody knows what's included in these products because they don't most of the time. So slow down, keep the enthusiasm there, keep the passion there, and explain in brief detail, we'll get to that in another meeting, in detail what it is they're getting so they fully understand. So when you ask them for the money, it seems like it's a great deal. Hey, you know what? My name is The Jeff Cowan coming to you from thejeffcowan.com with my podcast, Right Service and Write Your Own Paycheck. I'm glad you joined me this week. Tell your friends about this because this audience is really growing. People really like it. Buy my book, buy the videos, do all that stuff. In the meantime, you go out there on that service drive, and if you're going to be there 10 hours a day, maximize the opportunity. If you're not making the most amount of money on that service drives, then somebody else is making more. That means that drive will pay more, and you're not doing something right. It's you. Maximize the opportunity. You're going to be there 10 hours a day, maximize the opportunity. And if you want to do that, keep coming back and listen to me because I'm going to show you how to do just that. Hey, you know what? I'm rattling on right now, so I'm just going to shut up and say, you do me a favor. Go sell something and make it a great week. This is The Jeff Cowan coming to you, and I will be back next week. Thank you for listening.